18 minutes to the top of the hour. We do continue with Morning at NTV. Thank you so much for being with us. Of course, in case you need to make a move, don't worry. You can stream with us on YouTube as well as Facebook. Just type in NTV Uganda, the one that has the live and the red. That is where we can go with you everywhere you're going this morning. But better still, you can also be a part of our conversations on social media. Hashtag Morning at NTV, and we will be able to catch up with your comments and your opinions later on. Today is 12th May and we get to celebrate nurses worldwide with the International Nurses Day. The theme for 2022 is Nurses, a voice to lead. Now we always see them in the background. We always see them more than we see doctors. That's the reality of the matter. They do a lot of work in ensuring that the patients that they have in the hospitals, on the wards, on the floors, are actually having their treatment in the best and most comfortable way. And earlier on, I'd been shining light on nurses in Busabala Nursing Home. This morning, I am delighted to be hosting Nurse Marrion Atwijyuka, who is a nurse and also a manager at Bethany Women's Hospital. Nurse Marrion, yes. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Priscilla.
Happy Nurses Day.
Thank you.
What does this day mean to you?
It means a lot to the profession, and I personally, someone who has the passion for the profession, for nursing, I really feel so good for this day that we get a day to celebrate as nurses.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
You have spoken about passion for the profession. Is that what led you into the profession? How did you get into the profession?
It is. I think I had a passion for the profession. Because when I was growing up, I think my mom inspired me, because all that I used to do is to take care of someone who is in need. And that alone, I think, grew in me that when I grow old, I have to really take up something where I have the ability to take care of someone and help them out of the need. Yes, they are in.
All right. So immediately you left senior secondary, you got into a nursing school?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and then you studied nursing?
Yes.
For how many years?
I studied nursing 4 years.
Okay.
I did a bachelor's degree in nursing science. That is 4 years, and 1 year for internship, making a total of 5 years.
What was your internship experience like in Uganda? Where did you do your internship
I
from?
did my internship from Lago National Referral Hospital. Okay. And my internship, of course, was full of experience. While in the training school, yes, we go through the theories, but we get limited time for practice, for wherever they take us for placement. But that 1 year of internship, it helps us to really get the hands-on experience. You're ready and you're able to perform, you're able to put the theory into practice. So it was a wonderful experience for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And as a nurse, in your time that you've been doing your duties in this profession, what has been your most difficult situation?
The difficult situation is when I find myself lacking what to use. And here I have a patient who would benefit from my service, but because I am restricted, not having what I would have used to help out this patient.
Okay.
Yeah.
And was that the case during COVID-19, in the 2 years that the whole world was under lockdown?
Yes, I believe my colleagues that were in this other side, they had to experience that because the PPEs were not enough, and it was so challenging that it was sudden. We had not prepared for it, so it always happens. Like you find yourself not having enough to use, and it affects your delivery of care.
All right.
Yeah.
Of course, now it's post-COVID-19. There's been a real opening of the economy, and we have been able to realize that, hey, it's not only COVID-19, but other diseases still do exist. And so we want to find out from your stance, what is the picture like for a nurse post-COVID-19?
I think COVID has taught us a lot, that we need to invest in ourselves. That is one. We need to empower ourselves, and we need to come out of the comfort zone, because we are living in a VUCA world, and anything can change at any time. So we need to be prepared all the time so that we are able to fit into the situation the way it is, the way it comes. Yeah.
Okay, all right. You've mentioned investment, and I think it's one of the things that are being tackled in this year's International Nurses Day. A voice to lead, investing in nursing and respect rights to secure global health. Let's talk about respecting rights. In your profession, do you feel the environment given to you actually gets to respect the rights that you should be having as a nurse?
Yes, it does, but sometimes, depending on the organization and depending on the structure from where you are working, sometimes the rights are not respected. Yes.
Okay, and so in your structure they are respected. What do your fellow nursing colleagues say in terms of respect of their rights?
Of course, some are respected and some are not. Because there are several rights to a nurse. There's a right to fair compensation of their work. Are they compensated very well? For example, the nurse that got burnt in an ambulance, is there anything that can be done to compensate the family for the work, for the service that he has rendered to the country? The right to freely and openly advocate for ourselves and our clients. Are we given an ear? Are we always listened to? Or it's when we take a tough action that they come to act? The right to have a safe environment to work in. By safe environment, I mean, do I have the proper protective equipment while I am handling the client? If they are not there, that means my right is violated, because still the clients will come to me and I'll start improvising, which will still put my life into danger. Yeah.
Okay, all right. You've talked about compensation. Of course, I do remember that there's many nurses that lost their lives due to the service to this country in COVID-19. Many of them got to contract COVID-19 in the line of duty, and they passed away. There was a recommendation that they should be compensated. What has been the resolution ever since that recommendation came through?
Up to now, there is no clear resolution. And one of the major challenges is that communication is never clear. Yes, when the suggestion is brought about by the party that is affected, and in this case, the nurses, for example, the nurses that lost their lives during COVID because they were attending and they were delivering a service that they are meant to do. Is there anything that has been done? If not, can we get a clear communication that there is something in a pipeline or they are working on it? Or can we actually get that very communication that all that is always in your package of the salary that you earn? Yeah.
Okay.
Not for us to keep on hoping that at least there's something that is going to come out.
Okay, all right. And the other thing that we keep appreciating COVID-19 for is that it has opened a can of worms. It has opened us to the realities, the ugly realities of life. What are some of those ugly realities that were brought to revelation post-COVID-19 in terms of the line of work that you do?
That of course you cannot run away from work. You have to be there and work no matter what. Whether you are prepared, in this case no one was prepared and everyone actually was scared about the pandemic. But as a nurse, you have to be there no matter what. And also that we are never prepared for a pandemic or for an emergency. We only start when it has happened. And sometimes it is not easy to control it, especially when they are big numbers. So can we be prepared for anything? Because we are dealing with lives and anything can be an emergency at any time. So can we prepare? Can we be prepared in the different health facilities that we work in, or the entire health structure? Can they do something about that?
Okay, all right. And in your capacity as management for Bethany Women's Hospital, of course, you have realized these challenges. These cans of worms have been opened. And what were the shortcomings that you experienced, and what have you now decided to do about those shortcomings so that you can service women better in your hospital?
Of course, it is a specialized women and family hospital, and we deal more with the gynecological problems, maternity and deliveries. So for something like COVID, it taught us and aware that a pregnant mother would come, yes, they have COVID,
right.
but are you going to send her away that you do not manage COVID? No, you have to again give the comprehensive care. You need to attend to the pregnancy needs, and you attend to the other emergency that has come up. So it helped us to make sure that we are always prepared for anything, because yes, we are looking at this pregnant mother, but there can be something else that is presenting with this mother. So we have to prepare comprehensively.
Okay, all right. The other challenge, the reality is that nurses don't work aloof. You know, it's a system of medical workers together. Now, of course, medical workers work for investors. Probably the owner of the hospital is not a doctor, but they've invested in the healthcare system and, of course, brought in those that are professional in the healthcare system to carry on the business. So while you might have all these recommendations and desires as nurses, on the other side, do you feel that the management in these healthcare places, facilities, is actually heeding and listening to your pleas?
Yes, they are to some extent, though there are always limitations as to why they cannot maybe attend to the concerns that have been raised.
And what are some of those limitations?
Of course, some of the limitations are not clear. Like when someone comes up and they are like, we do not have enough money in the budget to make sure that we either stock the facilities well, or the consumption is too high compared to the budget that we have, or we cannot increase the salaries at the moment. And yet, this side, they are seeing it as a need. When we take an example of the situation at hand, that all the commodities are hiked, the prices, and you're still earning that very amount. So will it cater for the essential needs? Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, as we continue to celebrate International Nurses Day, we do have Nurse Marrion here, who is a manager with Bethany Women's Hospital, and she's going to help us understand the exact and precise role that actually nurses play in the health system.
Yeah. Nurses do a comprehensive role. They are carers. They take care of the sick, and majorly for them, they really dispense comfort, compassion, yes, and empathy. They instill hope in these patients that, look, there is a chance for you to regain your life and you live normally. So basically we do that through a number of interventions. I will administer your treatment, I will counsel you, I will talk to you about any concerns. And here we are not looking at only the physical problem, but we are looking at this patient as a whole. We are considering the psychological, the emotional, the spiritual part of this individual. You pray with the patient, and you also respect their religious denominations. You call in someone to pray for them, and it is the nurse to advocate for all that. So generally, we are carers.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, I would like to say Happy Nurses Day and celebrate some nurses. There's Nurse Nora, who is at Joy Clinic Endeavour. I have a nephew, and of course, kids 4 years of age. If every time they see an injection, they go cuckoos, right? Sure. So my nephew went cuckoos and started running around the room, and then Nurse Nora just got him, and he started asking him, "How did you have for breakfast?" They engaged in a deep conversation, and by the time he knew it, he had a cannula in his hand, but he hadn't cried, neither had he flinched, by the way. And you know, that's when I really respected what nurses do and contribute to the health sector. Now, as we get to celebrate this day, what would you want to advocate for as you celebrate this day as nurses?
Okay, so as the theme says, that we invest in nurses and we respect their rights, I would advocate for all the nurses out there that if our rights are respected in the different facilities that we are working in, and if they can invest in the nursing profession. By investing, I mean that there be scholarships, financial support when we are attaining training, because it is something that we really invest in a lot.
Continued training, not that you just come with you know, your degree or your diploma and then after that that's the only sustainability.
Yes.
Have continued trainings that are extended to nurses.
Yes.
Okay.
Continued training and motivating the nurses, because it is a noble profession. It is a lot that we go through, and each day this person is on duty, they need to be supported, they need to be protected, they need to be motivated. Yes. Okay. And nevertheless, we can also invest in ourselves as nurses. Take a time and you read personally, you do research, you have a mentor or you get a mentor who is going to support you. There are people who have grown in this profession and they have something that they can actually transform to the next generation. So you get a mentor and you go through the journey so that you don't think it is something that I can do alone and I have reached where I wanted to be. We have to keep on learning new things day by day.
Okay. All right. Nurse Marrion, this month of May we also get to look at mental health awareness. Now, while your patients, you have to aid them with your nursing duties, but also you've talked about comfort, compassion, basically help them settle their mental health. How do you as nurses get to support, motivate yourselves and keep in check your mental health?
Actually, a nurse is someone who can easily swallow their own tears and they put a smile for you. They forget all that they have at the back of their mind. They forget all their problems, all that they have left home, and they make sure that they offer that smile that is going to contribute to quickening of the healing process. But most of the times we have neglected ourselves, or we have not taken good care of ourselves, and it is putting us at risk that actually most of the health workers, they have a mental problem at some point. So we need to be mindful also of ourselves as we are delivering this care to the rest of the patients, to make sure that the patients are comfortable. What are we doing to ourselves? Yes, we share with our colleagues for in case someone has a problem, and that's why I also call for support from the supervisors, from all the stakeholders, to always make sure that we are not emotionally drained by organizing for some workshops, organizing for something that can really unite the nurses, and they share out their experiences, and they're about okay, they can easily understand that I am not alone going through it, and devise ways of how we can go about it.
All right. Finally, Nurse Marrion, there's a current nurse watching NTV Morning. Then we also have an upcoming nurse, one who is passionate, may end up a nurse one day. What is your word of encouragement as we celebrate Nurses Day?
To all the nurses out there, you are doing a great job, and your efforts do not go unappreciated. We always appreciate, and we are always appreciated, and many times we feel appreciated. So my encouragement to all of us is that we keep on doing our best. Give it your all. Be that compassionate nurse. Offer and dispense that comfort to this patient. When a patient says thank you, oh wow, it is a blessing.
All right.
And
well,
it motivates.
Thank you so much, Nurse Marrion, for the incredible work that you guys do. God bless you, and we pray all the best for you. Nurse Marrion has brought into light the fact that we definitely need to consider compensation for what happens to their participation in the health sector. They are needing advocacy. Someone needs to stand up for them. And of course, a safe working environment for them to thrive and be able to have patients thrive and heal in the best possible way. Again, as we said earlier on, nurses are superheroes who have the superpower that dispenses of the best compassion in this world. And so to you nurses this morning, all over Uganda, we get to celebrate you here on Morning at NTV. We do continue shortly.